What's up, chickadee? This is Michelle with Reign Drop Convos and my girl.
Stacey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, chick? It's
What's
late
going on,
night.
girl?
Girl, it's late night, and I know, normally our conversations can go like way super long, but
I
I really want to
know.
just jump on and just talk really quickly about this topic. I mean, it's been floating around the internet for quite some time right now
Right?
with our homeboy T.I. and
Yes,
Tiny, which
and
kind of
homegirl. Yes,
yeah, and it hits
yes.
kind of close to home because we're from the ATL. We're in the ATL, wherever you're
Yeah,
from. When
shawty.
you in the ATL, baby, that's where you
It's
at. You know
family.
what I mean? It's
Period.
family, no matter
Right.
what.
Yeah.
And I
That's
actually
how
went
we
to
roll
high
down
school.
south.
Right, I went to high school with Tiny, and so there's a ever developing story about them, and the issue with all this supposedly drugging females and a lot of females coming out of the woodwork saying they were drugged and that they, have been assaulted by both of them. And so it's a pretty hyped up story. And it seemed like it had died down for a while. And now, out in LA, there's, some new, stuff going on where they're talking about actually, officially investigating this
Right.
situation. So, man, let's
Right.
jump into this combo real quick, because
Okay.
I just think, we need to give our perspective on it. All right, and
Absolutely.
let's do this. All right, all right. So we are talking about Mr. T.I. and Tiny. And the first thing I'd like to say is that no matter what's going on, I mean, they look like they're solid as a rock,
Right.
regardless.
Right.
You know what I
Which is
mean?
important.
You're talking about
Absolutely.
people that have
Yeah.
hung
Having a united
tight
front.
from the beginning. I mean, they
Yes.
have built their empire together. So whatever's going
Facts.
on, all the judgmental stuff. I mean, the most recent, blog post and internet buzz is about them going to speak at a church, and she was actually invited there. It's her home church, and from what I hear,
Oh,
that
okay.
it was her home church.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
she was
haven't read
invited
about
there.
that.
Yeah, so she was invited there to be honored, and obviously, they use that as a opportunity to kind of speak on, their current trials and tribulations that they're going
Right, it's a
through.
church.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
take your troubles to the altar.
Yeah, and which is what they did, and obviously the
Right.
internet and the critical people are going to say, they know our hearts, which is what a lot of the quote, if you see the air quotes on the screen, they're saying, they know our hearts, and as
Who
if
is
they're
they?
when they
I'm
say
I
that,
don't
they're saying that there's a lot of buzz that's saying, oh yeah, you go to the church after you've screwed up, and now you're saying that the church knows your heart. I've read the comments, they're like, oh yeah, of course they know your heart when you're paying money and giving them money. So it's some ugly stuff that always
It's
happens.
real ugly.
It's ugly, and so it's like there's no redemption for anybody. When you mess up, if you messed up, there has been no trial. You cannot be
Right. There
judged.
aren't even charges at this point. We're just
And
talking about
thank
a
you.
formal investigation.
Thank
We're
you.
not even talking about any indictments or anything like that. So I think
Right.
that we meaning the world,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
need to stop jumping to conclusions. Um,
Exactly.
it's a problem with people not sweeping around their own front door. We're always worried about what's going on in somebody else's backyard.
Right.
You know
Whether
what I
they're
mean?
celebrities or not. And so you think that, because they're celebrities, then they should be held at a higher standard. But that doesn't mean they're
Who thinks
immune
that?
to
They're regular
the
people just like me and you. They just,
right.
whatever they gift or skill they did, they
Yeah.
ran after a dream, they caught
And
it,
they
and
thank you.
they got money from it,
That's what
they
I'm saying.
capitalized it. I mean, it is what it
Right.
is.
Go do your research and see how many other claims there are about just regular people that have
Right.
filed claims of being drugged and, abused and sexually abused by so let's not
Yeah.
just put people on a pedestal simply because they're celebrities. And
Yeah, but
until
also let me say
Mhm.
this. Even I mean, with the women that are coming forward
Yeah.
now, and some of these allegations or some of the activities that they're alleging,
Mhm.
alleged assaults that
Yeah.
took place, 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
Right.
So yeah, and these were, from what I've read, these were grown
Mhm.
women,
Right.
from what I've read.
Yeah.
So these are grown women. Here's the thing, Shell.
Mhm.
We were in college. You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? We partied in Buckhead and
Yep.
back in, the day, probably before 2010, long before 2010. But
Right.
we all, Atlanta was a party scene. Buckhead
Yeah.
was a party scene. We all
Hmm.
know that,
Right.
So we party. You know who you're partying with. You know what kind of
Right.
crowd you're partying with, and you know what they do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And when I say what they do, I mean as far as how they get down.
Right.
You know how they
Right.
get down. You know what drugs they use, if they use any
And all of
drugs,
that.
how much they drink, what kind of, parties, the after parties. You're well aware of all
Right.
of that when it comes to the crowd that you hang around.
Hmm.
So, I'm hesitant to just be judgmental about what's going
Hmm.
on, because it's like, well, I was partying back then too, and I wasn't in this scene because I knew what this scene was.
Exactly.
So let me stay in my lane because
Right.
I'm not willing to, do the things, or I don't want to do the things that are going on in that scene.
Yeah.
So, they have to kind of take some accountability too,
Hmm.
as far as where they were, what they were into, what they were doing, how you
Thank
ended up
you.
in that place. And again, I'm not, saying, I'm not making a judgment on whether what they're saying happened, because if
Right. We don't
if what
know.
they're
Right.
alleging happened, then yeah,
Hmm.
there should be some consequences. Absolutely.
Right.
However, you as a grown person, you have to, your surroundings, where
Hmm.
you are, what you're doing. If you
Right.
don't want to be high, or you don't want to get taken advantage of, back in the day, you don't let anyone else get your drink. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we knew those types of things happen. So
Right.
and that's just in regular world.
Yeah.
You know what I
And, and
mean?
and that's the thing. And when we used to hang out in club, because I'm telling you, baby, we used to be out there doing the thing. And
Yes.
so when I started hearing later on in life about, oh, you got to watch out for the date rape drugs and all this. The thing
Right.
is, even if somebody had dropped something in my drink, I was with my crew. They
Bingo.
would not let anybody. They're not leaving
Bingo.
the club
That's
without
number
me.
one. Right.
So they're not leaving the club without me. And whatever went down, it would have had to be because of the crowd that I was already in. That was,
And
you know what I
because of
mean?
my own willingness. You know
Thank
what I'm
you. You've
saying?
got to have
So
some type of culpability when it comes to where you are. You could have taken your behind home or been at home and said, you know what, I'm not feeling this scene. But like I said, celebrities draw a lot of different people. And you
yes.
can't get into that circle and then decide, oh man, this is a little too much for me. I'm not feeling it. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? And
Right.
like I said, hey, if they went to church and they spoke on that, maybe that was their come to Jesus moment. Maybe they did decide, maybe, you know what, we did a little too much. This celebrity life kind of took us into an area that we really weren't quite um prepared for, or whatever the case. But I think that everybody holds a responsibility, because the way they did Bill Cosby, I mean, this dude seems like he
Whoa.
got
That was
convicted on really no real evidence. I mean, you're talking about people coming from 20 years later,
right.
women
Right.
coming out of the woodworks
Right.
talking
No,
about you
and that's,
drugged me. And
yeah,
I'm
that's
like, man,
important
come on,
to,
y'all. Come on.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
important to remember, because
Yeah.
I think one of the things that makes me cautious about
Hmm.
jumping to conclusions, especially when you start to talk about criminal charges and things like
Yeah.
that, you like you have to understand, like, that's someone's reputation, that's someone's life.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? So you have to be very careful when you and when you are making
Hmm.
these types of allegations.
Right.
And so I'm not sure, like, I don't know if it's true or not true.
Hmm.
But I can see the story 360. I can see
Yeah.
the situation 360,
Right.
and I can see where everyone could have some blame. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
And
Right.
so when it comes to situations where everyone shares blame,
Hmm.
you have to be careful at picking on, individuals,
Uh-huh.
or specifying the individual people, picking out individual people and
Yeah.
just ruining them. We don't know
Right.
who these girls are.
Right.
Like Tiny and Ti, their lives, their reputations right now, their future
Hmm.
hangs in jeopardy.
Right.
And we don't even know who these allegers are, or who,
Yeah. And
They're
there
a
was some ugly stuff going on
So,
Instagram in between, between a lot of these women posting, and the thing is, if you're a victim, then stay a victim.
why
Stay
are
off
we
of
on
social
social
media.
media
That's
though?
what I'm
Why?
saying. Why are you beefing on social media about it? You should be
Right.
in counseling and you should be with a lawyer, and that's where everything should stay. Why is everything now on social media? And that, like I
Because
say,
people have realized that they gain more momentum with
uh-huh,
in the court of public opinion than
then
they do in the
right.
system. You know what
And
I mean?
it's a
And
very
both
scary
sides use
thing.
it. Like prosecutors
Yeah.
and defense attorneys use the media, when you
Right.
have high profile cases to
Uh-huh.
their advantage. And
Right,
and
right.
and that's it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I like I said, I just have a serious problem with this because the thing is, I mean, not only just on a celebrity level, but this could be my son. This could be
Hmm.
some girl
This
that he
has
kicked
been
it with that
right.
said, hey, he did this to me. And nowadays, it doesn't matter what's truth. It just
Correct.
matters who said what first. And
Correct.
I just, I feel for Black men, in these types of situations, because at the end of the day, they're going to believe a woman, before, because,
Well, I
there's
mean,
just so
Tiny
much.
is a woman too, so that kind of changes the
It,
dynamics
it, it
too,
did, which
because
made it really even more like, sensationalized. It was like, oh, him and his wife were involved in some crazy sex, ring. Whatever you
right.
guys were doing in your bedroom, honestly, that's your
Yeah, I
business.
kind of
Yeah.
that what you
Yeah.
do in your bedroom, that's not my
Right.
concern. If this is the life you choose,
That's your
again,
business.
I don't have to answer for anything that anyone else does at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? I have to answer for what I do.
Exactly.
So I'm not concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned with what people do behind closed doors in their
Right.
bedroom, in the privacy of
Right.
their own bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I like this is a hard one. Again, I'm very cautious when it comes to making judgment calls when it comes to criminal
Yeah.
investigations or charges, not even
Right.
charges, investigations,
Mm-hmm.
or charges. I'm
Right.
let's see it play out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see the evidence that if this does happen to go forward,
Mm-hmm.
if they have enough in the investigation to move forward with charges or an indictment, I want to see what's included in those papers. I want to see what's
Right.
in the documents. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are some documents out there. I have not taken the opportunity to read through them.
Mm-hmm.
From I guess some of the accusers' depositions or reports or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want to see what's in there. I want to see what proof is provided, what evidence they have against them. I will want to see that before I say, one way or the
Yeah.
other.
Right. Right. And I'm right
Because
there with you.
the social media
They
has
will.
made it so easy
Girl.
to destroy a person based on,
Yeah.
one rumor,
Right.
one
Right.
allegation. Like we talk about the cancel culture,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
big, thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so easy because of social media, because of our
Yeah.
connectivity, global connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to destroy someone's life
Right.
with one tweet or
Yeah.
one post. And we have to be careful because if that can be done to someone else so easily, please understand that it can
It
be
can be
done to
done to
you.
you.
And
Thank
you
you.
will want the benefit of the doubt, or you
Mm-hmm.
will want to see to show everything,
Right.
to
Right.
prove
Right.
your
Right.
innocence. So give other people a chance to do that as well.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
And
I
and
think
and
that they deserve that opportunity to,
definitely.
have their day,
Right.
or their say, and prove their side.
I mean, I totally agree. And whether it's true or not, again, like you say, it just has to play out, because the thing is, I'm just concerned because it could be me. It could be you. It's like almost nowadays, all you have to do is say it. And then, it's
Right,
true. You know what
right,
I mean? Without any
right.
court documents, without any arrest records, without any convictions, anything. You just have to go on social media and say it. And it's a very dangerous thing,
It is. We've
Because I
entered
remember just
into
being in high
dangerous
school.
territory,
Very,
with
right. I remember being in high
technology and
school.
again our connectivity and how
Yeah,
easy it is to
it,
connect with people
it was
around the
bad enough.
world.
It was bad
Yeah,
enough in high school just with the rumors that floated around. All you had to say was such and such was sleeping with such and such, and it became truth in just a normal high school. So
correct.
now imagine social media, just one tweet, one Facebook post, one Instagram post, and then it's gospel. And so people were like so dismissive. Oh, he did it. I saw people, posting comments on these different blog posts. He did it. I mean, you guys have no y'all just saying he did it, and you have no other information to back it up. You have nothing in your post to say why you think he did it. So he's already guilty in your mind, and so
Yeah, I mean, I'm funny with
yeah,
that too, though, because
yeah,
if they're when in real life,
yeah.
if something serious happens, when something serious happens, if the first thing you think of is going to social media, that's a problem.
Thank
I mean,
you. Because
I
that sounds like
even
a traumatic thing to have. If you
right,
actually went through that,
right.
that sounds like some trauma that I would want to go to a counselor first. Because the thing is, a woman that goes through that, she really kind of has to, digest it and decide if it's something she even wants to put out there and tell anyone that this happened to her. There's shame. There's a
Absolutely.
lot that's involved in that. Like, how did I get myself in this? Because I'm telling you, that's the first thing a woman's going to say. How did I get myself even in
Well,
this
I mean, we said
situation?
that. We
Right,
said that. I mean, when you
right,
like again, when we talk about who you're around, who you're partying
right.
with, you know the crowd you party with,
Thank you.
and
You're
nobody
looking for
can
your
tell me differently when it
homegirls.
comes to that. Like when you are in a scene, you
Thank
know what
you.
that scene is about.
Let me tell you something, girl.
Period.
Everywhere me and you went and hung out, you had my back. You knew we weren't leaving the club without one another.
No,
We didn't go there to
that's
leave with no
yeah,
dude.
no, that's not
So
how
we
we
went
do.
there to party, have a good time, and really weren't really trying to meet dudes. So there's no way you would have
No,
ever
but
left me in no situation,
no,
or if we even went to an after party, we gonna be tight right there together. Like, hey, Michelle, this is what's going down. You cool with this or no? Let's bounce. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
how
But
I
we
always
were but
felt
we were
when me and you
okay.
hung out. Yeah, yeah.
We were okay with having regular fun though. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
we
right. We have to
can't
do all that extra.
right.
Yeah.
We can't forget the fact that there is an entire sub sector of
Yeah,
society.
yeah.
Even just here in the small little part of Atlanta, small little
Right,
part of the
right.
world called Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta, as we
Mhm.
say, without the
Right,
T at the end,
right.
but we know that there's a group of groupies.
Right, right.
We know
That
that
look
on the
for those
scene
dudes.
that
Yes.
that's what they are. That's their
Right.
goal when they go out to
Mhm.
find and to be a part of a specific scene, that
Right.
entertainment, industry
Yeah.
party scene.
And it's not hard to
And
find them. They're everywhere. So it's not
yes,
like you have to really, you could go to any club right now and run up on a celebrity. We have done it several times,
correct.
but it depends on what your motives are. And
Right.
so,
Because I mean, back then it was, oh, let me get your autograph because we didn't have camera phones.
right,
I don't
right.
know what we were going to do with all those autographs that we were collecting.
Exactly. Thank you. I can't put my
But
hand on not one of them.
girl, but there's this is so much different now. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
the world, technology has
Yeah.
advanced us and it's not all good. Like it's
Yeah.
gotten out of control.
Yeah. And the thing is, I preface that just to say that when it comes to my own daughter, just not to get caught up in this wanting to be, to thinking that celebrities or anybody that's on camera or that's considered so-called famous is something special that you have to do whatever you can to get close to them, to get next to them. I
And
don't want
what
them to be so, amazed by this celebrity culture, you know what I mean?
right,
Yeah.
right. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
it's because what do you gain from just being next to them? So
Right.
so that tells me that it's not just about being next to them. It goes a little bit deeper than that.
And
You know,
definitely, and you
I
know,
mean,
I
I've
can
been
remember.
next to, I remember being in the Velvet Room, I think one
Yeah,
night on a Wednesday or something, and
yeah,
in VIP, hanging out with, my girl.
mhm,
And I'm standing there and I look up, I see these knees because
yeah,
I'm petite. I see
yeah,
these knees, and as I keep going up, it's Snoop. Like,
yeah,
oh dang,
right,
cool as hell. Like he came up,
right,
what's up? Went back in the corner, sat down, did his thing.
yeah,
To be honest with you, I don't even know what the hell he did. And
right,
was in, view, but hell, I wasn't watching him. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
So it depends on what your intent is. What is
Thank
your
you,
intent?
thank
And
you.
if you know that that's what you went out looking for, you can't be mad if you find it.
And if that's what, because I'm telling you, it reminds me of when I was at Hampton University, and Biggie Smalls, Puff Daddy, Girl Tretch, Mary J. Blige, they all came up and did a concert.
Shout out HBCUs. Okay.
HBCUs, baby. They did a concert at the Coliseum in Hampton, and then they had the after party on our campus at our gym. And girl, I got all kind of pictures on my Facebook page that I took with Mary J. Blige. I mean, it was the coolest
Woo!
thing. Me
The
and my homegirl,
queen.
me and my homegirl snuck in the hotel afterwards because we got, more intimate pictures with them at the hotel. And I remember walking into Biggie Small's room, and he said, if y'all ain't, you know what, you need to bounce. And guess what? I bounced because I'm not,
You bounce.
I was not there for that, dude. I was like, I love
Yeah,
your
that's not what I'm
music.
here for. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so it was plenty that stayed there, but I'm like, I don't want
Yeah.
to go down as just some trick that
Yeah, like do
pop
they even
in
they don't even know who
Hampton.
these
That's what I'm
women
saying.
are.
So the ones that stayed, they already knew. They were straight up. They was like, look, so the thing is, you can't go to the police after that and say, you know what, we didn't know this was gonna. No, bruh. Whatever you was drinking that night, whatever you was smoking that night, you knew that it was that kind of party going on. So like
Yeah,
I said, we
let
bounced.
me interject this
Yeah.
though, because I still don't want anyone to think that it's okay
To do no,
to,
right,
give someone something without their
right,
knowledge.
right.
No,
And just for
you
the
know,
fun of it.
that's
And
not
yeah,
okay.
it's not okay just to
No.
like, yeah, because the thing is, there is still a level of deception. And so let women know, what's up. Hey, we got X, we got Coke, we got, whatever, but don't, deceive, because the thing is, y'all are celebrities, y'all got money. You don't have to do all of that. These women were glad to do whatever you wanted them to do. So the whole drugging thing is just kind of a little bit, I don't really quite understand how
Yeah,
that happened unless you
yeah.
get a thrill out of being some kind of freak, doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's why everybody's so curious about this story. And I get it. There's a lot of curiosity because when you're talking about a man, that's one thing, but you're talking about a couple. They're accusing a
When
couple
you're
of doing
curious,
this.
let's, curious, is that interchangeable with nosy? I mean,
I mean, and it's
because
nosy
that's
too.
kind of what
Yeah,
it is to me. It's more
it
on the nosy
is.
and in the
It is.
spectrum than it is
Yeah, and
curious. It's not really
social
a need to
media,
know thing. It's a
right? No,
want to
because
know.
it's not going to impact your life anyway, one way or the other, whether you know
No.
if it really happened or if it didn't. Because the thing is, with Bill Cosby, we still don't know for sure if what they say happened really happened. But I know that man in jail behind it. You know what I'm saying?
And so many years later,
Yeah,
I think with that case, that's what I kind of think about.
yeah.
Why? How?
Thank you.
How?
Thank
So
you.
if I did read part of the story about the investigation on T.I. and Tiny, and that
Mhm.
I think it's Las Vegas who actually closed their case or
Mhm.
closed their investigation.
Okay.
And the reason stated was statute of limitations,
Okay. Uh-huh. Mhm.
because the alleged incident happened in 2010, and
Oh,
they
okay.
were just brought
11 years
forward to
ago?
the police, right, earlier, I think they said this
Mhm.
month.
Okay.
And so they said that the statute of limitations had run out,
Mhm.
so that's what I don't understand about the Cosby case, because it was way longer than 10
for
years,
real. And I'm talking about that was a straight witch hunt, whether it was true or not. I mean, the thing is, people had those women had enough time to, come forward, and you got to look at the timing.
Here's the thing. I mean, they were grown, and so yes, they did. They could have come forward earlier. And if they were raped, in Atlanta, Grady has the Rape Crisis Center that I used to volunteer, at for years. Shout out to Grady. But they have that. So if they were, and let's say they didn't report it, because as a victim advocate, I know you don't have to report it. You can get a rape kit done and not report it to the police still.
Okay.
So that is up to the victim, or they can choose, they can choose whatever outcome they want. If they don't want the rape kit, whatever. But we did maintain those. So if it did come back up later on, then even though you didn't report it to the police, that rape kit is still on file.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know how that'll play a role, if any of them actually sought medical help after the, alleged incidents took place, or what, or if they have rape kits that are there as evidence. I don't know.
No, gotcha.
So,
Well, we'll see. But like I said, I just wanted to jump in really quickly on this because, like I said, it's been floating around for some months now. And then now, with this whole, they went to church and they spoke and they said, people they're going back in on them.
Who reported that?
Well, I don't, obviously,
what
somebody
person,
girl,
that, what Christian? Let me say this: what Christian?
Thank you.
Came back from the church and said, "Ooh, girl,
guess who was at church?
Who was at church and what they said?
What they said?
Who did that?
Right. And so somebody,
Christians.
Thank you.
Come on now.
That's what I'm saying, because the thing is, baby, what did the Bible say? He who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. So you might not be T.I. and Tiny, baby, but you got sins, and the way God judged sins, not many are any worse than any others. So it is what it is.
I say that, Shell, I say that all the time when I see things. I'm like, who are all these perfect people making all these, casting all these stones?
Thank you.
From their glass houses.
Right. And that's why people don't really trust the church or even trust church people, because you cannot. The thing is, if you're a Christian, you know that Jesus Christ died for your sins because you could not pay for your own salvation, period. And so you will be a sinner all the way to the day you die. You know what I mean? You just do the best you can. And so I applaud them for at least being able to get out there in public, go to a church, speak on this situation, no matter what the case may be. That's not easy. That's not easy, man. So I feel like
these celebrities, they must be superhumans,
because I would be like somewhere.
Teflon, you know what I'm saying? Like Teflon Dons, because or just not, or either they just don't pay attention to all of the chatter.
And they've learned that it's just a part of the game. That's the trade-off for being a celebrity and having the money and the fame, is that and so, I did hear some things about, that their kids, obviously attend private schools and things like that, but they're hearing it in these kids have social media. So
I read an article where one of their sons actually got into some type of altercation, and I couldn't clearly hear what was being said in the video. It did have sound, but I couldn't hear the audio. But wherever I saw it, kind of alluded to the fact that it was over these allegations. Maybe, some kid or something made a smart remark to him and he went off.
Of course.
I get it. Like, that's my mom and my daddy.
You're not, whatever the case may be, you're not going to just clown them. If you don't have anything to
say nice, keep your mouth shut. Or don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
It's okay to walk on by.
Right. So it's not just them that's impacted. And I think they've been in the game long enough to at least know the PR that's involved with being, so that's why I'm kind of leaning more towards. Yeah,
they
I
were
think that's
okay.
why I'm leaning more towards the fact that they have been in the game long enough to know that if they even did something like this, maybe, you already knew the backlash that was going to come. So I'm not passing any judgments. I'm praying that they get through this. I'm praying that it's not true. And even if it is true, that they can redeem themselves, come out of this. We all make dumb, stupid decisions in moments of just ignorance, being stupid, partying, having fun. I've got a lot in my past. And so if anybody wants to bring up anything I've done in my past, then so be it, because I'm not perfect and I'm not really expecting to meet any perfect person on this earth. So that's all I'm saying. Let's leave T.I. and Tiny alone and let them deal with this. And so if it's true, then they are going to get their just desserts and hopefully be able to rebound and bounce back from this. Because this thing ain't this ain't no joke, baby. This is, this is serious business. People's lives, family, the other women that are involved, their lives,
I
their
mean, I pray for,
family.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So,
I pray for everybody involved,
right. Because
because
this is not,
this
yeah,
is just it's a sad situation all around. It's a sad situation for
yeah,
the accusers,
right,
as well as Ti and Tiny and all of the
right,
families involved. Like
right.
it's sad that this is where we are. This is what
Mm-hmm.
we, have our attention on right now. And there are so many other positive things
Right.
that collectively as a community we could be focused on,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just sad that right now everyone's attention, and I mean across all age ranges,
Mm-hmm.
across, all ethnicities,
Yeah.
social classes, everyone
Right.
seems to be talking about this, or judging,
Right.
making comments about, whether they did it, they didn't. And the
Mm-hmm.
truth is, we don't know.
Right.
We're not involved. None of us, those who are not involved, we don't know the truth. And we
Right.
can speculate all we want, but we don't know the truth. So when you don't know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
just stop talking about
And
it.
just leave it alone.
Let it go. Let
Let
these
it.
people deal with what they got
Right.
going on in their lives, and
Mm-hmm.
spend your time dealing with what you got going on in yours. You know what I
And
mean?
thank you. Stop trying to say that this is a done deal. He did it. You don't
Yeah,
know.
I saw some of those
And
tweets and I'm like, wow, we
girl,
are very bold.
and quick to say it's a done
Judge, jury, and
deal.
executioner,
And I mean, baby, that's what I'm saying. That's why it makes it so hard for people to make mistakes. People are, there's that perfectionist, in a lot of people, because you make a mistake, baby. There's not a lot of forgiveness out here, nowadays for making mistakes. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's the thing though. I don't know if the actions, let me separate the actions from the
Mm-hmm.
people. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the action.
Yeah.
So if the actions
Mm-hmm.
that are alleged took place,
Mm-hmm.
then that's a problem.
I
That's
want to
a
see justice
that's a real,
served. Yes, I
and
want.
I
I want
don't
to
know if
see
that's a
justice
mistake.
served,
You know what I mean?
regardless. Yeah.
I'm not sure if we can classify that.
Yeah.
If that action, again, let's separate the people from the
Mm-hmm.
action.
Okay.
If that action that the accusers are saying, or those
Mm-hmm.
actions took place, then yeah, that was willful. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a mistake.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Right.
don't want to get that confused. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Again, while we love Ti and Tiny, separate the actions,
Right.
and we don't know whether they did it or not,
Right.
and again, I pray for everybody in
Mm-hmm.
this situation, but yeah, let me leave it at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Let me leave
because
it
I
at that.
know that it's just a really charged
It is.
situation. And so we will leave it at that. Like I say, I just wanted us to jump in really quickly, talk about this situation because it's out there. And like I say, it hits close to home because, hey, we in ATL. And so this
We
is
are,
where
and again, ATL is family. you
all
know,
day, all day.
it's
And so
family.
you
When
don't
you
hear about
start
this kind
talking
of
about
stuff
our
going on.
legends,
Honestly, you don't hear about this kind of stuff going on here. We party, we have fun. I mean, you can go party with celebrities and chill in the ATL, and it's not like some, oh my gosh, I just met. We just chill and we do our thing. It's not anything to ride down the street and run into, your local celebrities and be
right?
like, hey, what's up? So it's a big deal because, like I said, I'm not in any other state. This is Ti and Tiny. I went to high school with Tiny, And it hits close to home. So it's all good. I just
Yeah.
ask that people not rush to judgment, and let's all just be forgiving for, what can happen when you're just in that life, and when you're dealing with, when you have a lot of money, and when you're attracting a lot of attention. Just be careful out
And
there.
you also attract haters, you attract enemies, and you
Thank
attract,
you.
when you get to a certain level, I would I would assume, because I've seen it on lower
Yeah.
levels than that, but I've seen it across all levels, let me say.
Uh-huh.
But when you get to that level, when it comes to financial status,
Yeah.
there are people coming at you and,
I
and gunning
mean,
for you.
and they want
And
it,
it's nothing
baby.
to pay people to say stuff. Like, people are so for sale these days.
Girl.
When I say there are so many people that should be walking around with a for sale sign around their
Thank you.
neck.
Because they will say whatever you pay
They will
them
say
to
whatever you
say.
want them to say for a
Right.
check,
Yeah, exactly.
So
Right.
when you know that you are swimming in, the
Mm-hmm.
ocean with sharks that like that,
Yeah. You just got to be careful.
you
And,
do.
and no matter what happens, I'm sure if they come out of this, they will be so, it's going to, if it either it's going to strengthen their relationship, or it's going to expose, their relationship one way or the other once the truth comes out. So I
Well, I
hope
mean,
that,
they've been through
yeah.
so much
And
though,
they're
child. Like,
to
they've been
me,
through so
they look
much over the
solid.
years,
Yeah.
even
Like I
with him
say,
going to prison for those years, and
and the
the things
guns
that
and
they
all
went
that
through.
stuff.
Yeah, like, they've been
Right.
through so much. I think
Yeah.
that their relationship is rock solid. That's a plus. That's
Right.
definitely a plus in all of
And you
this.
need that. You need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if
Absolutely.
it was just him, then that would be a totally different thing. But the fact that she's kind of, tied in this with him, then,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, we in this together. We're both accused. So it's all good, girl. Let's wrap up this convo. Just want to jump
Okay.
on and say, hey, we want to give our little 2 cents, and please drop your comments and let us know what you guys think. And as usual, we are asking you to, hey, man, we're all about love and relationships. Check out our website. What's your love language? How are you connecting with your partner? Do you have a ride or die with you? So check out your love
Mm.
language quiz at raindropconvos.com. And please do share your results on social media, because we would love to see what your love language is, man. Are you with a ride or die? Are you looking for a ride or die? And if you are, then you need to let them know what your love language is, so that you can speak that to them.
Mm.
So it's been Michelle with Reign Drop Convos, and
Stacey, love you guys. Thanks for listening.
you guys have an awesome